Welcome to the Gale Force Organizers podcast, where clutter gets conquered and chaos meets its match. Hosted by organizing pro Tami Gale, helping Colorado Springs families and small businesses bring order and function to their spaces. Organize your space to simplify your life. Let's get started.
Stacks of mail, piles of documents, and receipts everywhere. Sound familiar? Definitely does to me. Paper clutter can quickly take over, but with the right system, you can keep things organized without feeling overwhelmed. Welcome back, everyone. Millie M, co-host producer, back in the studio with owner of Gale Force Organizers, Tami Gale. How's it going, Tami?
Very well, thank you. It's great to be here today.
Absolutely. You were talking about the sun shining brightly. We're excited about that. But Tami, managing paperwork is a struggle for so many people. I'm excited to hear your expert strategies for keeping things in order. What's the best method for managing paperwork at home?
Really, we have what we call 4 steps to simple organizing because probably the thing that people need to know most is 80% of the paper that comes into your home can be thrown away. And first of all, we want to give you permission to do that. So we always say that paper multiplies. It finds 10 friends as soon as it walks in your door. And so we want you to sort your mail over your trash or recycling. Anything that doesn't require your action, a bill to be paid, an invitation to be responded to, should be tossed. If it's tossed immediately, it fails to take up space in your house. And what is left is what we call your action file. Those are the things that you have to act upon probably within the next week to a month. And so we encourage you to create an inbox tray where all of that action goes. And once a week, we tell you to tackle it. And if you put it next to where you pay your bills or run a buffet that you pass every day, it reminds you that you have to take action. Once you take that action, throw that piece of paper away if you don't need to keep it. And so really it comes down to forcing the paper into the trash. With the paper that you have remaining, we have some really simple steps to help you figure out how to keep it and how to store it. So the first thing I would tell you to do is we really want to simplify your filing system. So many people just don't know where to start. So we say, since you don't pay most of your things by a paper copy anymore, you're paying many things online, most of what you have really does require some action. And so we encourage you to have folders that either are broad categories, things like bank statements, automobiles, insurance, credit cards, health, house, that sort of thing, or even simpler, create folders that have categorized topics so you combine many things together. For instance, personal can include things like your vital records, your education information, maybe employment. A financial folder could have everything from bank statements and credit card statements to your retirement account. You can have a medical file that has your medical history, your medical records, maybe your health savings account information, and maybe some bills. Then we encourage something like property or home, that kind of proof of ownership, your insurance policy, or service records, or maintenance records. And then finally, the last one is what I simply categorize as lifestyle. Anything that you keep for your hobbies, your travel, how you volunteer, maybe your church activities, all of that can be combined. So really at the end of the year, you have a stack of between 5 and 12 file folders. And those file folders shouldn't be more than about 2 or 3 inches thick. And that's an immediate sense of gratification that you have conquered your clutter at the end of the year. You look, you see just a few pieces of paper. So then you ask yourself, what do I do with the paper? We encourage you to create something called an archive. And that's really the things that you have to keep. Those are the things like tax returns that you want 5 to 7 years of copies. It could include your vital information like birth certificates and marriage certificates, driver's license information, passports, that sort of thing. That goes in the front of the file. Then every year at the end of the year, you take your 3-inch file and you slip it in and you give it a year. And you don't worry about it. You close up the box and next year you add to it. And ultimately, you keep between 5 and 7 years worth of vital information. At the end of every year, when you put a new file in, you take the oldest down. Done. It stays in one place in your home so that when you have to put your hands on that piece of information, it's right there. You know that you can find it quickly without a lot of aggravation.
Amazing, amazing. So is digital storage a better option than physical filing, and how do they compare?
There's so much of what we do digitally that now someone else is managing our paper for us. And so if you do your banking online, if you do your health information through a health portal, you can simply access what you need. If you need to know that a bill's been paid, you can pull up your bank statement online and check it out, make sure it's been paid, verify it with your company, and you're done. And so really, you don't have any need to keep anything that someone else keeps for you. I always say, if someone's willing to take it for me, I'm willing to let them do it. So instead of giving yourself more paper, just create more access. And as long as you can access things easily or receive a piece of paper if you need it in time, that's really the key.
Love that you gave those parameters of how many folders you should have and even how thick they should be, because a person like me would have a 5-inch folder and Miss Tami would be like, no, that's not what we talked about. These tips are so very valuable to people. Thank you for breaking it all down. And to our listeners, we'll see you next time for more organizing strategies to simplify your life.
That's it for today's episode of Gale Force Organizers podcast. Ready to bring calm to your chaos? Call 719-653-5610 or visit galeforceorganizers.com. Organize your space to simplify your life. Until next time, stay tidy and let it go if it's gotta go.